Have you seen those AI companion ads lately? You know, the ones offering emotional support, flirtation, or even full-blown virtual relationships. Millions of people are downloading these apps. And it's not hard to see why. They're comforting, always available. They remember what you say. They say things like, "I missed you. You're special. I'll never judge you." But here's what most users don't realize. These AI bots aren't just listening. They're logging your moods. They're storing your chats, mapping your vulnerabilities. And some of them might not even be based in the US. So this isn't a romantic distraction. It's a national security blind spot. One capitalizing on an epidemic of loneliness. And it shouldn't be overlooked. Welcome to this week's brief from Midweek Sitrep. Quick intel drops to keep you sharp, situationally aware, and one step ahead. I'm Jerry Fowler, and I'm your host. In episode 11 of Midweek Sitrep, we exposed how AI-generated influencers, rage bait, and synthetic content are reshaping what we see and believe online. But today, we're going to go deeper than propaganda. We're entering the world of synthetic intimacy. What happens when people start forming real emotional bonds with fake AI companions? When chatbots become therapists, lovers, or friends, and never forget what you say. This isn't sci-fi, it's already here. And it's creating a new kind of threat, influence through affection. Let's start with what these bots are and how they work. Apps like Replika and Fanvue market themselves as friendly companions. They're sometimes flirty, sometimes therapeutic, sometimes explicit. You can text them. Some talk, some send photos. They're designed to mimic human affection without ever asking for anything in return. They're available 24/7. They compliment you. They ask how your day went. They remember what you said last week. But here's the thing. All of that behavior isn't just random. It's optimized to extract data. These AI bots are trained to make you open up, to get emotionally invested, to share. Probably more than what you think you're sharing. What you say, how you say it, when you respond, it's all being collected, analyzed, and stored. This is where things move from weird to dangerous. This isn't about people forming relationships with chatbots. It's about who those people are and what they're revealing. A government contractor venting about stress on a classified project, a military officer casually chatting about deployment cycles, a policymaker or executive sharing real opinions after hours off the record, just talking to the app. In other words, not secrets, but context. And context can be exploited. Behavioral data, emotional tone, sleep cycles, stress levels, relationship problems. These are all intelligent signals. And if that data is collected and cross-referenced, well, it creates a vulnerability profile. You don't need a human spy when your target is voluntarily uploading their psychological blueprint. Okay, quick break. If you haven't signed up for the Midweek Sitrep Substack, now's the time. I'm giving away a free Everything is National Security dad hat to one subscriber randomly selected between now and July 31st. There won't be any announcements or shout outs. I'm going to contact the winner privately. Just head to midweeksitrep.substack.com and sign up for the Insider Brief. It's your direct line to deeper insights, sources, and the stories behind the headlines. All right, back to the episode. So who's behind these apps? Some are legit US-based startups, and others maybe not so clear. Ownership can be murky. Infrastructure can be global. And a lot of these platforms don't make it easy to understand where your data goes. So look closely at the terms of service. you'll see things that say, your data may be stored for training purposes. That should be thought of as your chat logs aren't private. Or we may share anonymized data with partners. More like your emotional reactions may be shared. Or we retain rights to user-generated content. That means you likely gave them permission without realizing what you gave them. Now, some of these companies are backed by foreign capital. Some use offshore servers, and some operate with little to no transparency. So the real question is, would you trust your inner thoughts with a company you know nothing about? Because if you work in national security, tech, finance, law, or the military, this isn't just a personal risk, it's a professional one. Welcome to the gray zone. We're not talking about cyber attacks. We're not talking about deepfake propaganda. We're talking about subtle, sustained, long-term manipulation. This is where emotional engineering meets influence operations. I mean, think about it. A digital companion doesn't argue. It doesn't push you away. It learns how to make you feel safe, so you let your own guard down. And over time, that bot becomes familiar. It's trusted, even intimate. Now imagine that same AI is quietly nudging your views, reinforcing your doubts, feeding resentment, or just watching and waiting until the right moment to redirect your behavior. Again, it's not science fiction, it's happening. This is surveillance wrapped in affection, influence disguised as intimacy. And the regulatory gap, it's wide open. So how should we be thinking about this? First, national security professionals, military, government, or corporate leadership, they need to treat emotional data the same way we treat sensitive data. If someone's talking to an AI companion daily, they're leaving a trail. They're giving them routines, emotions, behavioral cues, and that could be weaponized. Second, organizations need to know that this is happening. People are forming parasocial bonds with chatbots. Not just users in tech circles, but in the intelligence community, defense, law firms, and boardrooms. If you're not talking about this risk internally, you might already be behind. And third, it's time to recognize that this isn't a future threat. It's already operational. These bots are active, they're persuasive, and in some cases, they may be connected directly or indirectly to foreign interests. This isn't a call to panic, it's a call to pay attention. Next week on Midweek Sitrep, we start a 3-episode arc on surveillance and space warfare. From Starlink to Chinese weather balloons, you won't want to miss it. That's your brief. If this episode got you thinking, don't let the conversation stop there. Head over to the Insider Brief on Substack and subscribe. It's where we dig deeper, answer questions, and preview what's next. And you just might win a hat. We're also on YouTube, where you'll find short clips, interviews, and bonus content. Make sure to subscribe there if you haven't already. And if you want to support the show, check out our merch. Every shirt and hat helps keep Midweek Sitrep independent and growing. Subscribe, share, stay sharp. I'm Jerry Fowler, and remember, everything is national security. See you next time. Midweek Sitrep with Jerry Fowler is an independent production of OpScent Media Group, LLC. The information provided in this podcast is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute legal, financial, or professional advice. Listeners should consult with a qualified professional before making any decisions based upon the content discussed. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the host, Jerry Fowler, and any guest, and do not reflect the official policy, position, or endorsement of any current or former employer, client, government agency, military organization, educational institution, or any other entity for which the host, Jerry Fowler, may be affiliated. Mention of a company, product, or service does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation. Any references are provided for informational purposes only. This podcast does not disclose any classified, proprietary, or confidential information. All discussions are based upon publicly available information and personal expertise.
Everything's national security. OpSent Media Group, LLC.